You're listening to Southeast Radio's Business Matters, with thanks to Wexford Insurances. Wexford Insurances. More information at wexfordinsurance.com.
Joining me now is Brendan Ennis, CEO of Innovation Wexford and the organiser of Techovate, the largest business and technology conference to ever take place in Wexford. Good morning, Brendan. Thank you for joining me.
And thank you for having us, Karl.
I know that Techovate is a division of Innovation Wexford. What is Innovation Wexford all about?
Innovation Wexford has developed into one of Ireland's leading social entrepreneurial organisations. So really what we do is we set up and we run divisions that help to create employment within County Wexford.
And what divisions have you?
Our oldest division, going back to 1989, is that we developed Wexford Enterprise Centre, which at its time was the first and is now one of the largest and most successful enterprise centres in Ireland. We run a division called Data Group. Data Group manages some of Ireland's biggest companies' data and documentation. We run Recycling 2000, which is a community-based project that operates within all primary schools in the county, and we go through environment programmes with them. We also recycle about 1,500 tonnes of waste materials every year. In conjunction with the Enterprise Board, we run Celtic Enterprises, which is an educational division that works with second-level students, setting up the mini companies all throughout Wexford and beyond. And now our latest division is Techovate, which is a technology division that's looking at bringing technology new startups into County Wexford and the southeast.
Now, for the purpose of today's interview, I'd like to focus on Techovate. So can you provide us with some more information on that, please?
Yeah, Techovate is basically sprang from an idea whereby we looked at Dublin had successfully developed itself into what has become a very serious global technology hub now, actually. And it really does rank in the top levels of technology hubs within the world. And we looked at the southeast region and we said somehow or another could the region benefit as a whole from linking into that whole success story. So we're looking at trying to develop an ecosystem within the southeast that closely mirrors that based in Silicon Valley.
And how are you going about that?
Well, we started by actually going to Silicon Valley. That was the first thing, to try to understand what is the magic ingredient over there, because it actually is a magic ingredient. Silicon Valley, if you think about it, is really about 40 miles long and 7 miles wide. And when you looked at 90% of the world's biggest and most successful technology companies come from there, there's something happening. So we went and we spoke to George Foster, who's the leading professor of business in Stanford University. We met with the head of business development for San Jose County, and we met with most of the leaders of the big global technology companies. And we basically asked them a simple question. If we put a program together, would they work with us over the next number of years to try to turn the southeast into a region that at least ended up with some of that magic at the end of it?
And they agreed to doing that, Brendan?
To a man and to a lady, yeah. Every single one of them. It was amazing. Enterprise Ireland was fabulous, and the IDA over there, and we also used the southeast diaspora within the region, and they really helped us open up some doors. We have to remember as well that an awful lot of Irish people are in senior positions within these companies. It's amazing actually when you look to see how many Irish people are in senior positions with those companies. And they were all more than happy to try to do a small piece to help the folks back home. So it was actually inspirational, really.
What commitment did they give you in relation to what they're going to do for Irish companies here locally?
The first commitment was that they agreed to participate in the Techovate Conference 2012. That's a big commitment because Techovate 2012 is actually going to bring some of the leading technology leaders of the 5 biggest technology companies in the world to Wexford. And they're going to share their own personal and business experience with the participants there on the day. So it's not going to be a lecture. It's not going to be a PowerPoint presentation fest. What it's going to be is people actually telling their own stories of how they've done what they've done, where they've gone wrong and where they've gone right. And so we're going to learn from their own experience as distinct from someone so it's going to be more like a conversational piece with us.
So this is going to be a national event that's going to be held in Wexford?
It is, and hopefully it'll be the first of an annual event. We have plans for Techovate 2013 already in the pipeline. What we really want to do is we want to base Wexford in the southeast as a secondary hub for business, innovation and technology, and that's at its core. We have some fabulous people within the southeast that are already doing fabulous work, and what we want to do is we want to learn from those as well and get those people to share their experience. Techovate in general is really for any business, big or small, that are interested in using technology to develop business growth. So it's not a technology conference. It's for any and all businesses that wish to drive their business forward using today and tomorrow's technology.
And how are ticket sales going for that to date?
Going very well. We've only just launched a little over a week ago, and we've a third of the ticket target reached already. So really good uptake, and we're slightly surprised but not overly surprised when you look at the calibre of the people talking. It's very rare that you'll get the likes of Google, Facebook, LinkedIn, IBM and Microsoft all together in one place. That's very, very rare. So it is a unique opportunity to get to hear these leaders speak.
Apart from the speakers, what else has this Techovate event got to offer attendees?
That's a very good question, Karl, because the speakers are part of the Techovate talk side of the conference, but there's also two other areas of the conference. So within the event itself, there's breakout times where people can come out of the conference side of the venue itself and they can actually go into different zones. So Microsoft has a zone, Google has a zone, Facebook has a zone, and IBM have a zone, and they run those zones themselves. So for example, if you go into the Microsoft zone, there'll be Microsoft speakers. Microsoft are bringing evangelists over from Seattle to talk at it. They're going to have mini talks on their own products, their own services, where they see technology going, and they're going to demonstrate some of their newest technologies. And all of the other companies that I mentioned, they're doing that. So that's called Techovate Interactive. Then we have something very close to my heart, which is called Techovate Showcase, and that's where we have 15 local Wexford and South East companies being able to exhibit what they're doing. And the beauty of that is those exhibit stands are actually placed in the passageways linking all of the zones. So as you go to Microsoft, you have to pass the Southeast companies in order to get to them. So that's going to be a fabulous opportunity for local companies to be able to show exactly what they do and their skill sets to everyone in attendance, but also the leaders of the large technology companies. Remember, Techovate is not all about big, it's about bringing right from students up. So it's very important for us that we use this as a launch pad for drive and innovation and technology within the region.
I know that lots of business owners out there today are struggling to build a community on social media, whether it be on Twitter or Facebook. Yeah. Will this conference benefit them?
It will. We have some, like if we take it on social media, we have the Vice President of Global Marketing for Google speaking, and we have the European Director for Facebook speaking. And they're going to actually tell us the journey and path that companies should be looking at. So they're not here to sell Facebook. Look, they don't need to come here and sell Facebook or to sell Google. What they're here is to actually share their experience of what they've learned through their journeys of how companies need to use these new technologies and these new forums in order to drive their business forward.
How can people find out more about the event?
Very simple. If they log on to techovate.com, that's Techovate, all the details, all the information about the speakers, the booking information is on it.
Tell me a bit about this Fuse initiative.
Fuse is a fabulous initiative, and Techovate is run in partnership with Fuse. Fuse is an initiative that we started about a little under 2 years ago. Myself and a lady called Mary McAvoy sat down for a cup of coffee in the restaurant in the Enterprise Centre actually one day, and we looked at, instead of everyone giving out about what everyone else should be doing in this economy, we have some fabulous talent within the Southeast, and could we look at pooling some of that entrepreneurial talent to do something for ourselves? So Fuse is really is an entrepreneur-led project. It's not an agency project. All members of Fuse are all entrepreneurs, and we have 18 founding members. So again, the likes of Terry Clune and Ger Keenan and Louise Groban, all of these fabulous people are all founders of Fuse. And Fuse is a project-led organisation, so it means that we're currently working on 5 projects. Everyone is voluntary within Fuse. We've grown from original 2 members to over 230 members at the moment. And all of those 230 members are all collaborating with each other, driving new business with each other. And we hope that it's really going to keep business within the Southeast, develop and grow business within the Southeast. So we're only about a little over 18 months into the programme so far, but we have to say it's after taking everyone really by surprise, the drive and enthusiasm. In another way, maybe it shouldn't take us by surprise, because remember who we're dealing with, entrepreneurs. And it is entrepreneurs' nature not to give out and moan. They roll up their sleeves and they get on with it. And that's exactly what they're doing within Fuse.
Tell me about some of the projects that Fuse is currently working on.
We've already spoke about Techovate, which is a major one. Then Seamus Kilgannon from the Shivero Group is heading up a procurement cycle, and what that's going to do is it's going to look at all the procurement of the larger and multinationals in the region, and it's going to look to see how can Southeast businesses adapt their own production lines in order to service that need. We have a food and tourism division that's looking at how do we look at food production within the county and link that with tourism events, so that there's areas of Italy and there's areas of France that are famous for their food, and we don't see why the Southeast shouldn't mirror that. We have like a Dragon's Den division whereby the larger entrepreneurs get a chance to look at the smaller new startup entrepreneurs within Fuse and invest in them. And then we have a diaspora division which looking at the moment of how do we reach out to the Southeast diaspora around the world, how many of those are in leading positions and how many can help us make links between the Southeast and international markets. With an end to that, about 2 or 3 weeks ago, we've just opened up a new division of Fuse called Fuse International. That's going to be headed by Mary McAvoy, who now is the Vice President of Emerging Business for the IDA in the US. And Mary is going to look at identifying and pulling those people together for us. So we really Fuse is about building bridges and links between entrepreneurs, whether it's in Ireland or it's in Asia or wherever, it doesn't matter. It's about driving Southeast and Southeast businesses forward.
Some great projects mentioned there, Brendan. We must tie up again over the coming months to get an update on the progress made in relation to those.
I'd love to, and I thank you again, Karl, very much for this opportunity to tell your listeners. I also like just to finish with congratulating yourself and Southeast Radio. You're not long going with this new programme and it's really gaining traction, so we wish you the very best of luck, and if there's anything that we can do at any time to support the programme, you know where we are.
Thank you very much, Brendan.
You're listening to Southeast Radio's Business Matters with thanks to Wexford Insurances. Wexford Insurances, #1 for business insurance in County Wexford.